Scanning for audio.
Hello, welcome to another Tin Dog podcast. Cheers. This time I'm going to be talking about this new one here. It's number 2 in the Once and Future Doctor Who stories, and it's called The Artist at the End of Time. Now, as we discussed last time, basically, the Doctor involved at some point, we're assuming in the Time War, not completely 100% certain on that one, but we're assuming it's a Time War, is being catapulted backwards. Actually, no, that can't be the case. It's the Doctor from now-ish being catapulted back through their regenerations. We assumed it was the Time War, but this needs to be a Doctor that is post-Tennant. We'll assume it's the current incumbent, but we missed that. Now, it was implied at the beginning that it was the ninth War Doctor going backwards through regenerations, being degenerated. That's the word, de-regenerated. Forced backwards along their own timelines, but with some knowledge of what was to come. In this story, let's face it, it's an excuse to have old Doctors doing new fun stuff. It's fan service. It's fun, right? That's what this is. But it still needs to make a semblance of sense. We know that it must be a Doctor after Tennant because in this story we've got, the Doctor's daughter. It's Jenny, who happens to be Peter Davison's real daughter in real life. Georgia Tennant. So you're with me. This is a 5th Doctor who knows that Jenny is his daughter. So has Tennant's memory. So therefore it is a post-Time War story. Or do we just not bother about that sort of stuff anymore? I think the answer is yes. Kind of grinds a bit, but leave it, because this is just a fun story. Most important of all, though, if you look at the picture, why do I keep doing that? Because obviously I'll have inserted something here. You've got Colin Baker, but again, it's not Colin Baker playing the 6th Doctor, it's Colin Baker playing, do you remember in the 50th anniversary story, Tom Baker turns up, and he's running the gallery, the curator. Well, in the 8th Doctor Stranded series, you get to meet the curator again, and he's played by Tom. And then you get to meet the curator again, and he's played by Colin. The curator has regenerated into Colin, so this is that person. Somebody who runs galleries and is a bit of an artist on their own time. Look, let's do the synopsis. It's very short. Suffering from the effects of degeneration, that's what they went for, the Doctor heads towards the end of the universe in search of answers. Instead, he finds his daughter, Jenny, and an artist whose work appears to mark the end of every world they touch. Suffering. The Doctor stabilises into his 5th form, joined forces with Jenny and the curator to solve the mystery of the final gallery and the art that it's collected. On one level, it's an adventure where you're wandering around and it's the 5th Doctor and it's Jenny together, because let's face it, that's what we've wanted for ages. I mean, it really is. We've gone, they're both available. It's not like they couldn't just go, are you free Thursday? I'm free Thursday. Let's do it Thursday then. You can't, that is possible. And let's face it, it's Father's Day this week. Right. And Colin's just great, isn't he? I mean, seriously, Colin's brilliant. And his version of the curator, it's not the 6th Doctor. It's lovely that he's got a whole new doctory persona. He's a lot more gentle, and he's a lot more kind of the end point that we would have got to if the Doctor had been allowed to hang around. So that's the characterizations, the characters. Well, what's the story about? The story, as it says, is there's an artist who goes around and their final works always end up in a specific museum. And the museum's works are actually for sale. They're very snooty, the sort of thing you expect from a Doctor Who art gallery. Not real ones, just a Doctor Who art gallery. And it's about consumerism, it's about the meaning of art, it's about what art means to the people around it, and it's also just a damn fine story. I'm loving this journey, I'm loving this little box set, this travel through the loveliness of Doctor Who, celebrating 60 years, what's not to love? And next time, because we've kind of had Colin, but we haven't had a 6th Doctor, and doing it in order, well, that would just be obvious. We've got the 7th Doctor. And we'll deal with that one when we come to it. But it's cracking. I mean, let's face it. Everyone will love this set when it's done. And I'm really enjoying the journey so far. So with that, I'll fade away. And I'll speak to you next time. Probably about Doctor Who. Here's the trailer and decide for yourself. As far as I'm concerned, it's just really nice.
Gathered in this gallery are the final artworks produced by the worlds now sadly silenced by time.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, Once and Future, The Artist at the End of Time.
You wouldn't happen to have any Time Lord DNA in this gallery, would you?
You. Show me stuff.
Something is wrong.
What are you doing at this end of time?
I bounced off a time war. You?
Well, actually, I came here to find myself.
This universe is dying.
He finished his painting just as the world ended.
Really?
Killing worlds as he makes art.
How will you face your death?
The last creations in the universe.
A diamond among the stars.
A TARDIS at the end of time.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Big Finish. For the love of stories.
The Doctor spent lifetimes saving worlds. But there comes a time when the magic stops working.
That was the Tin Dog Podcast. Everything discussed is the intellectual property of others. No infringement is intended. For early access to reviews, follow the show on YouTube or Twitter @Tin Dog Podcast. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.